Mike Egan, welcome, Mike. Give him the funny hat.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Mike,
Been in the industry 44 years. Started at Cobb & Co in Lower Hutt.
You're on.
You're on now.
Hey, you are the recipient of the Wellington Live Umbrella Award.
How do I display it?
Anyway,
There you go.
right folks, here we are on Courtenay Place. It's Friday afternoon. You're in Hotline with the hot guys in the hot seat, the hot hat, and the hot guy in the hot seat today is restaurateur, premier, the grand fromage of Courtenay Place, Mike Egan. Welcome, Mike. Give him the funny hat.
Good afternoon.
Mike, you own the Monsoon Poon. What other businesses are you involved in, and for how long you been? How did you get into the industry?
Been in the industry 44 years. Started at Cobb & Co in Lower Hutt as a waiter, as an 18-year-old. There you go.
Oh, chicken in a basket is all I can remember for Cobb & Co.
Never did chicken in the basket. Cobb Schnitzel. That was what you're thinking of, probably.
And what are you? As I say, you got the Monsoon Poon. What else you got around?
Involved with Bullcott Street Bistro, Burger Liquor, Terrace Villas. Yep.
Wow.
Had a lot of other businesses over the years in Wellington, Ospo.
Which was your first one?
Was Van Gogh's in Eastbourne in 1984 when I was 23 years old. That was my first business I was involved in. Yep.
And how long have you been active in this
Courtenay Place
area?
1996.
About the same as me, actually, when I got to university.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, from Monsoon Poon, we had a burger there not that recently, and it was beautiful. What do you want to explain the craft of your burger?
Oh yeah, we're just taking. Well, the Chinese boys in the kitchen love doing pork belly, so we roast off pork belly, get it all crispy and crunchy, and put a few special gherkins and Sichuan pepper with it, and turn it into our burger.
Beautiful.
It's called Getting Ma Belly.
Well, there you go, folks, at the Monsoon Poon, get my belly. Okay, so Mike, we've just had a city councillor on the show.
Yep.
We talked a wee bit about some things, but we've got a big project here on Courtenay Place. Is it something to look forward to?
Well, yes and no. So we don't know what it's going to be, how long it's going to take, how much it's going to cost. It's still a bit up in the air, and their vision for what it's going to end up like may not be what it ends up like, because you can take people on the journey, but the businesses have got to survive, and we've got to be able to pay the rents, and the new look might not suit their sort of style of business. It might be too flash. It might end up looking like Lend & Key, and that's what not sort of edgy hospo businesses want as their backdrop. So they might it might change into something else. So who knows? And the hospo, we survive. We'll just move to another area where the rents are cheaper. There's a bit of funkiness, a bit of grunge, because that's what we want.
I mean, I can just look across the road. I can see 4D signs. I can see closed up bars that have been here for a couple of decades. Is that message getting through to the city council that there's some people that genuinely are hurting here?
Who knows? You'd have to ask them. You'd think it would, but when you see this many closed places in a what used to be a really vibrant entertainment district area. We went to them and said, why don't we rename the area instead of Courtenay Place? Why don't we call it the Theatre District? Or the Arts District? Let's change it, and let's give it something a bit classier than bad old Courtenay Place where there's drunk people everywhere and homeless and everything. We need to change it up. The St James Theatre's been done up, looks great. Yep. So that's the catalyst. So let's keep going. Tarkina's a great asset. So the area can change and will change, but then it's all going to change again when they rip the street up for 2 or 3 years.
And when's that supposed to start?
End of this year.
End of this year. Wow.
Yep.
Okay. And so, Sarah Jane, have you got any questions on that?
Well, I was going to say, since I'm a student living here on Courtenay Place, what would you do to brighten it up? Or rather than just the name change, is there anything you could do, like add lights or anything?
Yeah, I mean, we've tried that in the past, but you've got to get resource consent. A few years ago, there used to be a whole lot of festoon lighting on Oriental Bay around the Norfolk Pines. We got it all when they were going to take it to the tip. We strung it up across the street. We had it up for 2 years before the council noticed. Then they said, hey, you haven't got resource consent. And we said, well, no, we can't afford it. Makes the street look great. They said, yeah, we agree, but you've got to take it down. So we've tried to brighten the things up, but different councils have different ideas about things, so you can't really fight them in the end of the day. You just got to go with what they say.
It's a sad thing to say, but there does seem to be a common theme amongst city councils around New Zealand, which seems to be a bit of an absence of common sense.
Yep.
And that's not necessarily about the individuals. There's legislation that needs to be followed, there's policies. I mean, is there, what can we do about it? What would you be?
There's policies, but policies only matter if they're enforced. You know, sometimes they can ignore things if it suits them. You know, I was looking at the leaking water outside Mill Wilson's on Tory Street. It's just a valve that needs replacing. Well, I know they're going to be shutting that off for hours. You know, like why don't the guys work at 1 o'clock in the morning? It's probably a 1 hour job when there's no traffic. So why don't they come out at night when there's no one around and instead of interrupting it, because already they're starting to put cones out, and it's just going to be a huge amount of disruption for what's really a washer and a valve and a Toby.
Yeah.
Oh, quick question from the audience. How do you know it's just a washer and a valve and a Toby?
Because when the water's coming out of the Toby and the valve, when we've talked to the guys, 9 times out of 10, it's just a washer that needs replacing.
And what, do you think you could do it yourself?
No, but they can do it really quickly if they
No,
don't
if
need
you had to though. If you had to get up to
Uh,
Plumbing World, do you reckon you could
Yeah, you
lift
need
that up?
you need a big wrench. I've watched them do it. They have like an 8-foot wrench that they use to get the Toby off, and they have to turn the water off up the street. It does take, but I've watched them do it in 15 minutes in Claremont Terrace, and it was and they said, yeah, we can do this really quickly, and they did it because they just sort of worked out there's hardly any traffic. It will take 15 minutes of disruption.
All right. So, okay, we know that Wellington's got some issues. What are the positives, Mike? What's positive about this fantastic place?
The weather can't be Wellington on a good day. There is great. There are great people here. There's a great vibe. Yeah, I mean the feng shui of the city's really great. You know, the hills envelop you. The green belt's wonderful.
Yeah.
The proximity to the ocean and the bush.
Coastal marine area. All right. All right. Oh, thanks so much for that, Mike. Thanks so much for coming in, being the hot guy in the hot seat. Good luck with the restaurant. Let's hope we can get Courtenay Place back to where it used to be and where it deserves to be. Thanks so much for coming on Hotline.
Thank
Cheers.
you.
Pleasure.
Graham Bloxton for Wellington Live and Hotline down here in Courtenay Place, and I'm here with a successful restaurateur and a hard-working man, someone that's brought so much colour, vibrancy, yummy tummy stuff, and probably some big parties and some stories to tell in your restaurants. You give a lot back to the industry. You lead with innovation. You lead with consistency. And I invented the Umbrella Award,
Yes, I've seen that online.
and it's an award for good buggers, for good people that have achieved something magnificent. And today you are the recipient of the Wellington Live Umbrella Award.
How do I display it? Thank you.
That there, my friend, is
Goes straight to the pool room.
straight to the pool room, and congratulations, and thank you for
Thank you.
being the thoughtful, considerate, hard-working dude that you are. Wellington appreciates you and supports you, and as far as I'm concerned, you're a bloody legend.
Thank you. All right.